On this episode of UTR, we journey to the center of the UP to find some taste-tempting traditional toast, yummy Yooper brew, Native American culture, and a great new golf course. Heck, we'll even take you on a satisfying sail. Get ready to explore the cool people, places, and things that make the Upper Peninsula's Middle Earth so magnificent.
They say the perfect resting heartbeat is 60 beats per minute. We couldn't agree more, most of the time. Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the purest of pure Michigan.
There's something special about the pride, the skill, and the passion it takes to build something great. The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, understands that passion and has been providing contractors with the resources they need since 1885. A visit to the Stalls Automotive Museum will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. In addition to beautiful cars, enjoy the collection of gas pumps, road signs, oil cans, and other car-related accessories. Info at stallsauto.com.
I've been around the world, but there's one place I keep coming back to. And the more I explore, the more I realize it's the place to be. I'm Tom Dalton, and this is Under the Radar, Michigan.
Now, we all know that Michigan's entire Upper Peninsula is full of both natural and man-made treasures that are the envy of the entire world. But on this show, we're going to get specific on you.
That's right. Welcome to UTR's rendition of Journey to the Center of the UP, which is actually just a dramatic way of saying we're going to show you some cool people, places, and things in the center part of the Upper Peninsula. It's just a lot more fun to say it that way.
The central part of the UP has so much to offer, and the incredible and welcoming people here will literally bend over backwards to help you explore and experience more of this great region. From its rich Native American heritage and incredible natural beauty, this part of the UP is the place to be. So strap on your official UTR Adventure accessory belt and get ready to see the Central UP. Now, for you Low Plains Flatlanders, the middle part of Michigan's Upper Peninsula is located just west of the eastern part and just east of the western part. Go figure. Now, there's a toasted tradition in these parts that we'd all heard about but never had. So we headed to the tiny town of Trinary to try their toast of the same name.
Trenary toast is an iconic edible that's been made in this building for almost 100 years now, and people come from all over to eat it. What's it look like? What's it smell like? How do they make it? Inquiring minds want to know.
So with cameras cranked and some questions collected to quell my curiosity, we entered Trenary Home Bakery. Bree and Marco Docena are the new stewards here at the bakery, and they know everything I was soon to know about this toasty UP tradition.
Now, Trenary toast is almost 100 years old, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys are not the original owners. You look kind of young for that. How did you come to buy it?
Well, Marco and I graduated from Northern Michigan University, and when we came up here, we absolutely fell in love with the UP, and we didn't want to leave. But we left because we couldn't find a job, so we moved down to Chicago. And after 4 years in Chicago, we really wanted to come back to the UP, so we started looking for jobs, still couldn't find a job. So we started thinking about ways that we could kind of create our own path, and we found Trenary Toast, and it was the perfect fit, and that's how we ended up purchasing it.
Well, you bought an iconic institution. I mean, this place is no, I've heard about Trenary Toast for years. I mean, heck, Marco, you came from Italy. I mean, I've heard about it for years and always wanted to try it. What exactly is Trenary Toast?
Well, Trinary toast means a whole lot to a lot of people. Very basically, it's just a piece of toast, a piece of sweet toast, but there's a lot more to it than that. It has very humble Finnish traditions, so it's a kind of a traditional Finnish recipe. And now, what it is today is it means history, it brings memories, and it brings a lot of emotions to a lot of people.
And I understand you even have a copy of the original recipe?
Yes, we have a vault up in the office where we keep a lot of historic photographs, recipes, notes from the original owners. History is something that means a lot over here. You know, every owner of the bakery left their mark. We're hoping to do the same.
Well, you guys are so young. You got a long time to make a lot of marks.
Yeah.
But Trinary is a tiny town.
Yeah.
But I saw your map back there in the hallway. I mean, people come from all over the United States to get this toast, but it's a tiny town. Where's all this toast going? I mean, are you shipping it, or?
Yeah, we're definitely shipping it. We shipped all 50 states, and we're expanding that as well to try to get it overseas as well. But really, we can thank the snowbirds for that. A lot of these folks have roots in Michigan one way or another, but they still have very fond memories of what Trinary toast means. You know, we got messages all the time saying, man, the taste of Trinary toast in warm milk brings back memories of when I was 6 years old in the UP. So I think we do have Trinary toast eaters everywhere, and I think a lot of that is thanks to Michiganders originally.
You ever ship any over to your parents in Italy?
Actually, no. We haven't shipped it directly, but I've sent it over with some Italians over to Italy. So
Yeah, we've sent it back.
We've colonized
The cheaper
Italy
way.
already with the toast.
What's neat is seeing young people like you guys sort of keeping traditions going and doing things old school.
Yeah, and I think for us, that's a big part of what drew us to this business, too. I mean, everything about the culture of the UP in general, and then also when you think about Trinary toast and just the act of eating it, too. You have to slow down and brew a cup of coffee and dunk your toast in your coffee. But kind of going back to the roots and making things from scratch and handmade, I think that our generation is coming to appreciate that a lot more.
And just think, someday somebody's going to be sitting here talking about you guys, and they'll say, yeah, I've got photographs of those guys up in the office, want to see them, and it'll be you guys.
Yep, well.
Wow. You know, hopefully they got good things to say about us.
Circle of life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the people we met at the Trenary Home Bakery were some of the nicest and hardest working folks we've ever found. And everything we ate was absolutely authentically awesome. Well, at least everything I ate. Hands off, fellers. Hands off.
Now, when someone's got the upper hand, they're usually in a pretty good place. But if you have an upper hand in your hand, you're in an even better place. Oh, yeah.
And that's because the Upper Hand Brewery actually is a place right outside of Escanaba where you can get handcrafted adult malted beverages UP style. Yep, this crew knows how to brew, and the atmosphere is all about kicking back and enjoying this great part of the Upper Peninsula. Sam Reese decided to make the UP his home because, well, let's face it, when you add good beer to being up here, you're in heaven.
Okay, Sam, be honest. Did you grow that beard just so you'd look more like a brewer?
People tend to trust brewers
With beards?
with beards. And the opposite is also true.
You know, when I was young drinking beer was just beer.
Sure.
But now it's turned into, I don't know, a lifestyle or a mindset. Why do you think that is?
I think with anything else within culture and food and cuisine and even music and art, you're going to start to mine the history of that trade to start to inspire the future of it. And so you've got all these styles being unearthed, but drinking the same light American lager. While we love, you know, light American lager, it does not cover all the bases of what beer is good for. And so craft beer has helped expand the horizons for tons of folks.
Now tell me about the beers you guys brew here.
Sure. So we have always tried to brew specifically sessionable styles. That word being, you know, you can drink multiple in an occasion without losing your head.
Right.
And you know, to pair with, not, you know, specifically with food, but to pair with outdoor activity. Like, so if you live in the UP or you like to visit the UP, it's all about being outside and enjoying, you know, basically God's country and what nature has to offer here. So these are beers that we think are inspired by the outdoors, reminiscent of the outdoors, and go well with those activities.
Now, you guys don't serve food here.
We do not, no.
But what I like about this is you can bring whatever food you feel like eating.
Sure.
With your beer that night, you can bring it here.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Which is awesome.
No, they're
I
not
mean,
competing with our kitchen, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If I feel like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with my beer, I have that. If I feel like some Asian food, I have that.
Yeah, I mean, we did not originally have a tap room here. We built this facility in 2014 as strictly a production brewery to distribute beer across the UP, but not really host a lot of people on site. And it took us I don't know, about 14 seconds to realize that we needed to have a tap room on site.
Why did people start coming here and just sitting in the lawn with their beer empty?
You know, very close. It was daily where there were people knocking at our door, and we were trying to be as cordial of hosts as possible. And you know, we were new to town, right? And so we would go to the door and thank them for coming and let them down easy that we didn't have a tap room, until I just realized I didn't want to do that anymore and have a tap room.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah, sure.
Be serious. And the atmosphere, you're right. When you walk in there, instantly you're like, I'm up north, I'm about to have a great beer. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it's as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
There's not TVs on the wall. We're not
Right.
playing loud music all over the place. There's not a big party going on. People can come here, have a consistent, awesomely made and awesomely inspired beer, have great conversation, maybe play a game, bring your kid, bring your dog, and enjoy this little, 5 acres of the UP that we call home, and then go off and enjoy, the rest of Upper Peninsula landmass elsewhere.
Well, even if you didn't have a beard, I'd still drink your beer.
Well, cheers. Thanks.
But don't shave it, I like it.
You know, the Central UP really is what I like to call our own big sky country, with more than enough natural beauty for all of us to enjoy. And everything you need to find fun is right at your fingertips.
But if you want the UP actually poured into a glass, you're gonna have to stop by the Upper Hand Brewery. I'm sure they've got a beer or two for you. But this one's mine.
So after toasting some, UP toast and some tasty UP brew, the crew and I decided it was time for us to do a little learning. And trust me, we can use all we can get.
Another reason this part of our great state is so special is because of its rich Native American history and traditions, and it's something all of us need to know more about.
So I spent some time with Ken Michigaud. He's the chairperson for the Hannahville tribal community, a lover of this incredible land, and if I might add, one heck of a nice guy.
Ken, what's it like to have a people? I'm a mutt, I don't have a people.
What's it like to have a people? It's very humbling in knowing that you have an ancestral past and that you can trace your lineage back hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Well, it's funny, people like me spend so much money researching, their DNA and trying to figure out what continent they're from. You know exactly where you're from. You're from right here.
Yep, I'm from here.
It's amazing, and you're part of the Hannahville tribe.
Yep, Hannahville, Potowatami.
Now explain for people that don't know like me. Hannahville is a division of or a part of the Potowatami tribe?
We're a band of Potowatami. Potowatami is in a larger sense, a larger tribe that existed and lived in southern Michigan, northern Ohio, Indiana, southern Wisconsin. And during the time of removal, several people escaped the Trail of Tears and ended up in different parts of the United States, and our forebears ended up here.
And the Hannahville tribe is in the central UP area?
Yes.
How many are there?
There are 9 tribes within the United States and Canada.
Wow. But how large is the population here in the central UP?
Right now, we've got maybe close to 1,000 tribal people that live right here.
What do you guys do to keep the tribal traditions alive?
Well, that's interesting in that the Potowatami language is in danger of becoming extinct. So about 20 years ago, we started a language preservation and revitalization program, in that we're teaching our younger people how to speak Potowatami. We developed a Potowatami language with the other tribes and the bands throughout the United States. So we're trying to preserve and maintain our language.
How does the tribe and the community here coexist with each other?
We've always coexisted on I think, a good partnership level, in that the Hannahville Indian community realizes that our success is a success for the central UP as well, and vice versa.
And you guys are doing a lot to help strengthen the economy here as well.
Exactly. Over the years, we've donated or given to the local communities millions of dollars, and our 2% from our gaming revenues.
Now, you said that you've got about 1,000 Hannahville tribe members here, but you create a lot of employment for all kinds of people up here, don't you?
We have 1,000 people in our tribe. Yeah. Not all of them live here. Some live in, urban areas outside of the reservation. So here we have a employment population of probably 300, but we employ almost 1,000 people in the summertime. So we draw our employment from local communities as well.
Well, actually, Ken, what the tribe does for this area really makes the Central UP a special place. I mean, especially culturally. So I think you guys really add a whole different dimension to the experience here.
We try to make it as beneficial for everyone as possible.
Takes a village.
We have a big village, and we're glad to be a part of it.
Spending time with Ken gave me a real feel for how much these first Michiganders are doing to enhance and promote this part of our great state. It also gave me a true appreciation for their fascinating and rich culture. If you want to find out more, come on up or over to the Central UP, because Ken and his clan will be more than happy to share it with you.
Well, now that we know how special the land is around these parts, I think it's time to go out and hit a little white ball around some of it. Wait a minute. Jim, is this my ball?
So with Easter egg-style ball in hand, thanks guys, I met up with Tony Mancia. He's the golf guru here at the Island Resort and Casino, home to 2 incredible courses, Sweetgrass, which opened in 2008, and the UP's newest, Sage Run.
So, Tony, what are the main differences between the two courses? Between
terrain.
Sweetgrass and Sage Run?
The terrain.
The terrain?
It's totally different. Feels like you're in 2 totally different parts of the UP. One is a prairie-style course, manicured to the utmost, beautiful.
Yeah.
This one is, a resort course. It's up and down the hills. It's a different turf.
Oh, and you were mentioning the names, too, meant something.
Yeah, this is Sage Run. It's one of the 4 tribal medicines that the Potowatami have.
Yeah.
One is sweetgrass, sage, tobacco, and cedar.
All right.
So we probably have room for a couple more.
So malted hops and barley are they in there at all?
No.
Darn it. Well, the first thing I noticed when we got here is how wonderfully quiet it is back here.
Yes, that is the big difference. You know, it's around the casino, there's a lot of activity, a lot of people. So, you'll hear a car every now and then, but out here, you don't hear anything.
No, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, how long does it take, for a course like this, how long does it take from planning stage to it being open?
It takes about 2 years to build a golf course. It takes you a year of construction and a year to plant the grass and grow it in. So here, we didn't have to move a lot of dirt. It was already here. We really just had to bring some sand in for the greens and the tees and the bunkers, shaped what was here, and so it was a quick process, actually, about 2 years.
And this is probably the newest golf course in the UP.
Yes, it is. It is the newest golf course. I don't know if anyone else is building one, but this one here really kind of enhances our resort. It's our second course. We have a lot of stay and play packages. We do about 25,000 rounds a year, and they stay at the resort, and this is just a logical addition.
Well, with our comprehensive conversation completed, Tony and I continued to play some great golf. And as you might imagine, Tony's game was what I like to call in the pocket. As for me, well, I played the most consistent game of my life and shot a 4 on every hole.
This will be easy. 4, 4, 4, 4, oh, 4. My bad.
Sweetgrass and Sage Run are both absolutely outstanding courses and a great way to get out and enjoy the Central UP's natural beauty. And when you add in the tons of fun you can have at the Island Resort and Casino, I think you'll be hitting quite a few balls out of your Michigan bucket list.
You got any tips for my golf game?
Probably pick up tennis.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We've been talking an awful lot about the land up here in the Central UP, but last time I checked, you need water to make a peninsula.
And being surrounded to the south by Lake Michigan, we found plenty of it. We also found some benevolent boaters who not only help landlubbers like us experience the joy of sailing these beautiful blue waters, but by doing so, they also help the disabled find meaningful employment and a better place in our society. That's right, when you charter Jim and Alice Hansen's 36-foot sailboat Gallivant out of Escanaba, all the proceeds go directly to Lakestate Industries. It's a nonprofit vocational training organization that helps people with disabilities find their place in the work world. They call it a charity sale, and that's exactly what we were going to do.
Captain Jim,
Yes, Thomas.
Thanks for letting me help raise the mizzen, the big white sheet.
It's called a head sail.
Oh, yeah, you would know that. Yeah. What inspired you to use this most excellent flotation device for charity?
Well, what happened when we first started sailing, we would take a lot of people out sailing just for fun. But the reality of starting the donation thing was we were at a fundraiser for a gentleman who had just lost his leg, and they were auctioning off stuff. And I said, you know, we could do a sailing adventure for 6, wine and cheese. So I flipped the placemat over, made a sailboat picture, wrote up some stuff, gave it to them, and lo and behold, they sold it at an auction for 300 and some bucks. And I said, this is a great fundraiser. So we decided 3 years ago we were going to focus mainly on Lakestate Industries.
Well, tell me a little bit more about Lakestate Industries, because when I first saw the name, I'm like, what, do they make widgets? What do they do? But it's actually, they do a lot of good.
Well, my first involvement with Lakestate was as a high school principal.
Yeah.
And, you know, kids would finish their junior year, start looking to the senior year, where you're going to go, University of Michigan, Michigan State, community college. But our special ed population would kind of dead end at that point. And so we got involved with Lakestate Industry, which is kind of a work training place for special needs adults or handicapped adults. And our junior year, we started having those kids go out and do work evaluations at Lakestate, and then that emanated into those folks, some of them actually working there, or some of them working with a job coach and going out in the community, learning a job, and then being on their own.
Now, when you take people out, I mean, $200 for 6 people that's a bargain. I mean, don't raise your price, but anyway, when you go out, so it's wine, cheese, and you actually learn to sail.
What we usually do is I'll take the youngest member. We had a 13-year-old kid and never been on a boat before, and I said, okay, fine, we're at the dock. We have to back the boat. I said, sit right here. This is the shift forward, backward. Here's your gas. When I tell you, don't let go of the wheel, because if it spins, you might snap the cable. And I force him to back the boat out, and he has to take the boat out.
Yeah.
Once we get out, show him how to put up the sails. We go ahead and do that. And then we start talking about all the nomenclature on sailing, halyards and sheets and all that kind of stuff. And so by the end of the trip, I'm sitting where you're sitting, and they're basically running the boat with a little bit of instruction.
As a 13-year-old?
13-year-old, correct.
Is that a challenge to me that I can't, a 13-year-old?
That is a challenge, and I'd like you to take over.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna slide behind you.
Okay, you go this way, Captain, sir.
Get in the best seat in the house.
So I've never actually even been sailing, and now you're letting me actually steer, is it steer the boat?
Helm.
Right, I'm helming the boat. So just going out for a sail with wine and cheese is fun enough, but actually learning how to do it, that's a huge thing.
Well, the difference between sailing and power boating is, number one, you have to understand the wind, you have to understand the dynamics of moving, sail trim and so on, but sailing's all about the journey. Power boating is about getting there.
Right.
And I kind of like the journey, you know? And I think one of the things we've learned over the years is that as much as we enjoy and have a passion for sailing, it's great if we go out by ourselves, but it's even greater if we share that experience with someone else.
How am I doing so far? Should I just go ahead and get the wine and cheese?
Well, I'll tell you what, you're doing okay.
Is it time for wine and cheese?
You're doing okay. We could have wine and cheese right now, absolutely.
Okay, here, you take it. I'm going to get the wine and cheese.
Okay, sounds good.
That's really why we're here.
Well, the seas may have played nice and calm during our interview, but as soon as we put the cameras down, almost like we planned it, the winds picked up and Captain Jim quickly put us all to work. I'm telling you, for someone who's never helmed anything, this was such an exciting experience. Heck, I even learned what a telltale was and how to read whatever it was trying to tell me. I'll be honest, this was one of the coolest things I've done in a long time. And what an awesome way to explore mighty Lake Michigan and at the same time help those less fortunate. So as the last half hour just demonstrated, the land and the sea in this part of the UP are both things you need to walk and float on. And the air up here is clean and clear.
So be like me and explore the central UP. I think you'll see it's the place to be. And then eat some brie and go climb a tree. Okay, I'll stop trying to rhyme now. Sorry.
They say the perfect resting heartbeat is 60 beats per minute. We couldn't agree more, most of the time. Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the purest of pure Michigan.
There's something special about the pride, the skill, and the passion it takes to build something great. The Construction Association of Michigan, CAM, understands that passion and has been providing contractors with the resources they need since 1885. A visit to the Stalls Automotive Museum will take you back to a time when cars were more than just a way to get around. In addition to beautiful cars, enjoy the collection of gas pumps, road signs, oil cans, and other car-related accessories. Info at stallsauto.com.
Look at me sailing.
This is what we should have been doing.
Somebody hand me a barnacle. Wow, what are we doing? We're doing almost 7 miles an hour. Wow, is the boat supposed to stay tipped like that?
Let's call sailing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let me scoot back here. Yeah, you better.
No, you got it.
No, I'm good.
I'm just going up here to help you out. Bring it up into the wind a little bit to your right. Bring it up.
Yep.
So when those telltales are both going straight back, that's where you want to be. So come up into the wind.
Into the wind a little more?
Yeah, up into the wind, a little more. A little more, come on. A little more. A little bit more, right there. Now, whatever you're looking at, see those buildings?
Yep, I'm going
Head for those buildings right there.
I'm trying to hold it, Captain. I can't hold her, Captain.
Well, you're gonna have to. It's all up to you.
Somebody, I think I have scurvy. I better go down below. Oh, gosh. If the wind wasn't invisible, it'd be easier to work with.
Well, it shifts all the time.
I know, it's shifty.
So shift to the starboard a little bit.